Hello, friends, and welcome back to Mrs. Karnes and Me. In our last episode, we traveled from New York City to Istanbul on Turkish Airways. In this episode, we're going to explore one of the most cultural and historical cities of the world. Welcome to Istanbul.
Welcome to Istanbul.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool ride you've got. So is this the most interesting airport ride you've ever gotten picked up in?
I really like it.
It's very cool.
It's just
Oop, speed bump.
to be, probably be, this is how the trip's going to be.
I think you're right. Off to the hotel. After
10 plus hours of travel, me and I are ready to get to our hotel and rest before we hit the ground running in the morning to see as much of Istanbul as we can in the 3 short days that we have. After a 30-minute drive, we arrive at the Park Hyatt Istanbul at 3 a.m. to check in. It doesn't take long to get checked in. That's probably pretty standard at 3 a.m. and we're in our room before we know it. So this is not the room you picked?
No, I picked a room a couple levels lower than this room. I did tell them it was our first time here.
Yeah.
That if we would appreciate any advantages they could give us to help celebrate our time in the city.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
Very cool room.
Very cool room.
Very, very cool.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. Look at that light. It's beautiful. I'd like to have that light in my house. I would. We have a little French balcony out here. It won't open the door. It said whenever you open the door, though, it turns off the air conditioning, and it may be off. They left us these little treats. Turkish delight. I think these are limes. I can't tell what those are. I don't know what they're. Some macaroons.
Is it a pomegranate?
I don't know. We'll have to cut it later and find out. He told us anytime we needed water, we could get it. He left a bunch of snacks for us to have. Coffee, tea, a note. What's it say? Open it. Open it. We've got this cute little sitting area.
Dear Mr. and Mrs. Karnes, on behalf of the entire team, welcome to Park Hyatt Istanbul. We're thrilled that you've chosen to stay with us while in Istanbul and assure you that we will do our utmost to make your stay memorable. Please feel free to reach out if you need anything else. P.S. Why is your wife so hot?
Oh, they did not say that. You're such a liar. All right, on with the room. We have this very lovely wardrobe with some little drawers, ironing board, a safe, plenty of hangers, lots of storage upstairs. This is the bathroom. Look how cute. God.
You don't have you decided yet.
When you walk in, you have this little like hallway area here. Look at that. I don't know exactly what that's for, but that's kind of cool. There's our do not disturb. Kinda cool. So we have electric blinds again. That's nice. Always a nice touch. Thank you. And then the bathroom is very cool. So we have a shower, and then we have this traditional Turkish bath, and then a big tub, and there's a TV in here, and there's a steam room. So we can take a steam bath in here. They gave us some robes, which is nice. That, I believe, is the room. Got a desk over here, a nice chair, almost like a chase lounge kind of chair over there. It's a big room, very nice.
I'm a very tired husband.
Yes, we're very tired. It's 3 a.m.
We've been awake, I don't know, 18 hours or something like that. And it's been a long travel day.
It has been.
Longest flight I think we've ever been on
Yes,
today.
I would think so too.
So we're gonna get things set up and call it a night. We've got to get up in the morning and go to a tour. Mrs. Karnes is running hard. So we're gonna start in the morning and let the excitement in Istanbul begin. Well, friends, good morning. It's our first full day in Istanbul. We got about 5 hours of sleep last night. I don't think I moved. Did you move, Mrs. Karnes?
Probably not.
We were really, really tired. We got up, the sun is out. It appears to be a nice day in Istanbul. The weather outside says forecast high of 78 today with mostly sunny skies. So we're about to leave the hotel. We're staying at the Park Hyatt Istanbul. And so we're about to journey down into what I think is called the Old City of Istanbul to see the most visited site in Turkey, the Hagia Sophia. It's a church that was built in 537. Started out as a church. It's been a synagogue, a church, now it's a mosque. And so it's, by all the video that I've seen and the pictures I've seen, a really cool thing, and we may start our trip out on a very, very good note going and seeing it today. Istanbul was the most visited city in the world in 2023. And now, me and the lovely lady behind the camera can say that we've visited as well. So thank you for tuning in to Mrs. Karnes and Me. You're going to want to check that subscribe button because we've got some cool videos coming up the rest of our time here in Turkey and the next country. So come with us today as we explore country number 40, specifically Istanbul in Turkey. Thanks for watching Mrs. Karnes and Me.
We are on our way to visit the best look at ancient Constantinople, a church turned mosque. It is considered among the greatest houses of worship in both Christian and Muslim worlds. Completed in 537 and built by the Byzantine Emperor Justinian on the grandest scale possible, it was later converted into a mosque by the conquering Ottomans. For 4 centuries, Christians in Europe looked to Constantinople as the leading city in Christendom, and this was the leading church. We booked this tour with skip-the-line tickets, but even with those tickets, the line to get in was quite long.
What do you think?
It's an impressive old building. It's been well, I think, maintained. Architecture is very interesting.
It's very busy. I guess it's the first time I've ever been in a mosque, so.
The dome-upon-dome construction was the biggest dome anywhere until the Cathedral of Florence finished theirs during the Renaissance some 900 years later. For 4 centuries, Christians in Europe looked at Constantinople as the leading city in Christendom, and this was the leading church. At some time, even the Vikings had made their way into this church. This carving in runic script, writing that's used by Vikings, is the name Halfdan, a known Viking that was said to have visited this area. There are 40 arched windows that bathe the interior of this vast church in light. They help to show off the marble and the glittering mosaics. In the 15th century, the Byzantine Empire collapsed and the Ottomans turned the Hagia Sophia into a mosque. Many Christian mosaics were plastered over and new religious symbols replaced the old. We were able to get a glimpse of the Virgin Mary peeking out from behind the curtains.
So this has been a very interesting tour that we've taken today so far. My first mosque. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Beneath the bustling streets of Istanbul lies the Basilica Cistern, a 6th century marvel that was once used to store water for the city. This ancient underground reservoir, built by the Byzantine Emperor Justinian, boasts 336 columns and several haunting Medusa heads. The cistern's eerie atmosphere has been seen in the movies Inferno and From Russia with Love. The Basilica Cistern employed 7,000 workers during its construction and supplied water to Constantinople's Great Palace. It spans some 10,000 square meters and holds 80,000 cubic meters of water. It has endured some 22 significant earthquakes and played a pivotal role in the defense system of the city, supplying water even during sieges. The exact water source of the cistern still puzzles historians and engineers. Many of the columns that uphold the cistern were repurposed from ancient Greek and Roman temple ruins.
They've made multiple motion pictures in here.
Yeah.
The Bond movie was what made the building famous.
Yeah.
With Sean Connery.
Okay.
Sean Connery.
We went through here in a boat, but the water level was a lot higher. It's really cool. I love it.
It is believed that in the 38 years that it took to build the cistern, that several hundred slaves died. The cistern has a weeping column engraved with peacocks, drooping branches, and tree leaves to commemorate them. We also found the famous Medusa heads. These Medusa heads have led many to believe that religious ceremonies were once held down here.
So one of the things the tour guide told us was that the lights inside of here change every 3 minutes.
3 minutes, I think
So they go from white to green to red. And
red and white were good for selfies. Green is supposed to not show up people.
so since this is red, we're taking it now because I think this is my best light, don't
It's
you?
your best color. So I'm just sitting here listening to the languages and the call of prayer behind us in Istanbul. Taking a drink break.
Take a little break.
Trying to recover from our jet lag that's still with us, I think.
Kind of still lingering.
It's lingering a little
I
bit.
felt like I needed like 2 more hours of sleep.
Yeah.
I think that would have been okay.
Well, it had the plane not been late, we would have had those 2 hours, you know. And that would have been good.
Yeah, 5 hours is not quite enough.
No. But what are you going to do?
Duty
Things happen.
calls, because this was the only day we could go do
It
this.
was the only day.
And, you know, that's a first world problem right now. We shouldn't complain about
No,
it.
I'm not complaining at all. Not at all.
I am, but, you know.
Yeah. I do.
That's my job, isn't it? To complain about things? Is that my job on this channel?
It's a lovely day.
So it's
Happy to be alive and be in a different country.
So there's a gentle breeze, which is the only thing that's making it nice.
Beautiful.
It's the sun, as you can see on this
It is
side
beautiful.
of my head. It's 78 degrees, which is better than 98 degrees.
Exactly.
But there's no air conditioning in any of these places. There's no ventilation in these places. So it's real humid. It's like muggy.
It is a little muggy sometimes.
We have like 2 minutes to finish this and go join our tour, but we're so glad that you joined us
Yeah.
today on Mrs. Karnes and Me to see the Hagia Sophia, the cistern, and the
Topkapi Palace.
Topkapi. We'll put the name right here, and you're going to see it in just a minute.
When I was thinking about Istanbul, I imagined sultans, harems, and beautiful palaces. And when we saw Topkapi Palace, what I imagined came to life. Built in the late 15th century, this palace was the center of the Ottoman Empire for almost 400 years. This palace really is a series of buildings and courtyards, with the outer buildings being used for public functions and the inner for private. The further you go in, the more private, with the harem at the very center. It's the executioner's fountain, where they wash their swords after each execution. So this is where you meet the sultan. maybe he'll be here. We'll hope so. This is called the audience chamber. There are many different tickets that you can purchase to come to the Topkapi Palace. The tickets that we have give us access to all the areas in the palace, including the harem. The word harem means forbidden in Arabic. The harem was the living quarters of the sultan and his family. The main room of the harem is called the Imperial Hall and was built in 1855. The harem is made up of approximately 300 rooms, including 9 baths, 2 mosques, a hospital, laundry room, and many wards. This is the largest room in the harem. It was the entertainment room and was used for activities like the weddings of the sultan's daughters. The sultan sat on this huge divan, kind of like a throne. The divans around the windows were used by the queen mother and the wives of the sultan, and the musicians were on a balcony up above. This room even had its own fountain.
We're inside the Sultan's chambers. This is where he brought his harem. As a one-woman man, I can't condone that. I'm very sorry.
Good. The Topkapi Palace is one of the most extensive and fascinating monuments in the Ottoman Empire. It has historical and architectural importance, but also an extraordinary museum with porcelain, armor, fabrics, jewels, manuscripts, clocks, and many other objects of art belonging to the sultans of another time. Some of the most beautiful views that you can have from the palace are definitely here in the fourth courtyard. From here, you can see the Sea of Marmara, to the Bosphorus Strait, the bridge, and even the Asian side of the city. This tour was the perfect way to start our time in Istanbul. We got to see 3 of the must-sees while in Istanbul and learn so much about this amazing country. Thank you so much for joining us on this iconic Landmarks of Istanbul adventure. And please join us again next week as our time in Istanbul continues. We know that we are living the good life, and we hope that you are too. Shut up,